Hi there, welcome to this tutorial where we will learn about the toString method in Java. So what we'll look at is we'll take a class, we'll see what happens when we do a toString on that, and let's see what happens, how we can customize the output of a toString. Okay, and also we'll look at how we can auto-generate toString method using Eclipse. So let's get started. What I have here is a simple class called animal. Just to make it simple, I'm having this class and the other public class to run it in the same public class. Ideally, you'd have two different classes for this. The class animal would be in a different class from the toString examples. But just to have one view of the whole thing, I prefer having this kind of thing. So we have a class called animal. This class has two private member variables, name and type, and you would also see that I have created a constructor for it. So this is a constructor which has a string name and string type. So it is a constructor which accepts two parameters, name and type, and setting the name and the type respectively. I excluded the getters and the setters just to keep the example short and sweet, so that it's very clear and easy to understand. So ideally there should be at least a getter of the value. But okay, let's see what happens when I let's try and create a new instance of this class. So this is how you do it: new animal, and I would want to say name is Tommy, let's say, and the type of the animal is dog. Probably it can be an enum, the type of the animal, but okay, let's keep it simple. And so I would say animal is equal to new animal. So I've created a new instance of the animal. So what would happen if I do a system.out.println? So if I do a sysout on animal, what would happen? Let's just check. So you'd see that this is the output which is being printed. So whatever you are seeing here is the default output of a toString. So this is kind of a representation of the memory location of the object. So it's saying object of this type is at this particular location in memory. So yeah, you don't really need to worry about the actual value, but what you can see is it's something which doesn't really make sense to like a user. So how can we really get it to customize and print something which is useful? Just to understand the background, what happens is the animal class extends the object class. So when I create any class in Java, extends object class. So it's almost as if this is what you are doing. And the object class has a default definition for the toString. So if you look at the object class, it has a toString default definition, which is, as you can see here, it's getting the class name and it's trying to print the hash code of that particular class. It's not the memory location, but it's actually the hash code. So you'd see that this is the default implementation which Java provides. And since we didn't override the toString method, the value, the method which is provided by the object class by default is used. So now let's go ahead and implement the toString method ourselves. So let's go ahead and do that. So public toString, and it returns a string back. So return, let's just say name is plus name, and I would say after that type is plus type. I'm using the string concatenation operator plus. So let's see what happens now. Okay, there you go. It prints name is Tommy and type is dog. So we have actually implemented the toString. Not really a good implementation because it can be really better, but we kind of have given it a some implementation. So you'd see that when I do a system.out.println of animal, then it prints the value which is returned by the toString method. So this is basically how you implement a toString method. Actually, the great thing about Eclipse is you can implement toString, that Eclipse can generate a toString for you. So you can do a right click, you need to do a source and say generate toString. So right click, source, generate toString, and it would ask what are the things to include. So if I want to include name and type, I can say name and type, and there are varied range of options which are present. So you can either do a string concatenation, or you can use a string builder, or use a string format. Just for keeping it simple, I'll use a string format, and I'll say OK. You'd see that Eclipse gives me a default implementation for toString, and you can see the name and the type, and it's using this string.format function. So if I run this now, you can see that the output gets printed as animal, name is equal to Tommy, and type is equal to dog. Sorry, not God, dog. So there you go. So that's how you use a toString function in Java. We looked at how you can, what happens if there's no toString, how the objects methods toString is called, and how we can provide a default implementation. How we can provide an implementation for toString, and also we looked at how you can auto-generate a toString using Eclipse.
If you like this video, show it by clicking like or commenting or sharing this video. We are creating more videos on varied range of topics as we speak. Subscribe to stay updated. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.